Welcome back. Deep in the rugged deserts of the American West lies a gemstone so unusual that many people refuse to believe it exists. Imagine a stone that appears to trap sunlight inside itself. A gem that flashes with glowing copper sparks and fiery reflections, as if a tiny sun were hidden beneath its surface. For decades, treasure hunters searched for it. Collectors paid thousands to own it, and geologists struggled to explain some of its most stunning colors. This is the story of Oregon's sunstone, a gemstone born from fire, a treasure hidden beneath ancient volcanic landscapes, and a stone whose greatest secret remained buried for millions of years. At first glance, Oregon's sunstone looks almost magical. Depending on the light, it can glow with shades of gold, orange, red, green, champagne, and even rare blue-green tones. Some specimens appear ordinary until sunlight touches them. Then suddenly, they explode with flashes of glittering copper light. But that was only the beginning. The story of Oregon's sunstone starts millions of years ago during a time when powerful volcanic eruptions shaped the land that would eventually become the state of Oregon. Massive rivers of molten lava flowed across the region. Volcanoes erupted repeatedly. Layers of hot rock spread across vast distances. Deep beneath the surface, crystals slowly began to form under extreme heat and pressure. Among them was a special variety of feldspar. Most feldspar minerals are common and often overlooked. They can be found in many rocks around the world. But something extraordinary happened within certain crystals forming beneath Oregon's volcanic fields. Tiny particles of copper became trapped inside them. Over countless ages, these microscopic copper inclusions transformed ordinary crystals into something remarkable. The result was a gemstone unlike almost any other on Earth. A stone capable of producing dazzling flashes of metallic light. A stone that would later become known as Oregon's sunstone. For thousands of years, indigenous peoples of the region knew about unusual shining stones found across the desert landscape. Some stories describe stones carrying the power of the sun itself. Legends grew around these sparkling treasures. One traditional tale spoke of a wounded warrior whose blood mixed with sunlight during a battle. According to the story, drops of blood touched the stones of the earth, giving them their fiery red color and glowing brilliance. Whether fact or folklore, such stories helped deepen the mystery surrounding these remarkable gems. And that's where the mystery deepened. For a very long time, the wider world knew almost nothing about Oregon's sunstone. The remote desert regions where the stones were found were difficult to reach. Harsh weather, rough terrain, and isolation kept many outsiders away. Then came the explorers. As settlers moved westward across America during the 19th century, reports occasionally surfaced describing strange, sparkling stones scattered across the desert floor. Some people dismissed them. Others became curious. A few collectors began gathering samples. But no one yet understood just how rare these gems truly were. The truth was even more surprising. During the 20th century, professional gemologists started examining the stones more carefully. What they discovered attracted serious attention. Unlike many sunstones found elsewhere in the world, Oregon's sunstone contained visible copper crystals. These copper inclusions created a phenomenon known as eventurescence. When light entered the gemstone, it reflected off countless tiny copper platelets inside, producing flashes that looked almost like floating fire. The effect was breathtaking. Collectors were fascinated. Jewelry designers became interested. And suddenly, a forgotten desert gemstone was becoming famous. What happened next shocked everyone. As mining operations expanded, experts discovered that Oregon's sunstone came in an astonishing range of colors. Golden stones were beautiful. Orange stones were impressive. Red stones became highly desirable. But the rarest examples revealed something few believed possible. Green Oregon sunstones. Some displayed vivid green shades, unlike anything normally associated with sunstones. Others showed multiple colors within a single gem. Imagine holding a crystal that shifts from green to red as it moves through the light. These rare specimens became some of the most sought-after gems in the entire feldspar family. Collectors around the world took notice. Prices began to rise. Demand increased. Yet despite growing interest, Oregon sunstone remained relatively unknown compared to diamonds, rubies, emeralds, and sapphires. Few people know that this relative obscurity actually helped preserve part of its mystery. Unlike many famous gemstones whose sources became heavily exploited, Oregon's sunstone deposits remained limited and carefully managed. Most of the world's supply came from a small area of southeastern Oregon. That made every discovery significant. Every new crystal mattered, and every exceptional specimen became a potential treasure. As years passed, museums began displaying remarkable examples. Gem shows featured extraordinary stones with fiery internal flashes. Jewelry artists created designs specifically to showcase the gem's unique optical effects. Yet scientists were still uncovering new secrets. One of the most fascinating aspects of Oregon sunstone involves the copper itself. Those tiny copper particles are responsible for much more than simple sparkle. They influence color, they influence brilliance, and they create effects that can make each stone completely unique. No two specimens are exactly alike. Some contain dense fields of copper flashes. Others display subtle, shimmering effects. A few reveal dramatic internal reflections that seem almost impossible. When viewed under magnification, the gemstone can look like a miniature universe filled with floating metallic stars. It is one of nature's most incredible works of art. But the biggest secret was still hidden. To understand it, we need to look deeper into what makes Oregon sunstone truly special. Many gemstones become valuable because they are rare. Others become valuable because they are beautiful. Some become famous because of royal ownership or historical significance. Oregon's sunstone possesses all these qualities to some degree, but its greatest strength is something else entirely. It is uniquely American. While gemstones like rubies and sapphires are strongly associated with distant regions of Asia and Africa, Oregon sunstone represents a treasure born entirely within the volcanic landscapes of the United States. This identity helped it gain recognition as Oregon's official state gemstone. For many collectors, owning one means owning a piece of American geological history, and that connection has only increased its appeal. Investors began paying closer attention. Rare specimens entered private collections. Exceptional gems achieved impressive prices. The finest stones became increasingly difficult to obtain. Still, another mystery remained. Why were some Oregon sunstones displaying colors that seemed impossible? Researchers continued studying the gemstone's internal structure. Advanced scientific analysis revealed that variations in copper distribution could dramatically alter appearance. Even tiny differences inside the crystal could create major changes in color and brilliance. Nature had effectively become a master artist, painting each stone individually over millions of years. No factory could replicate it. No laboratory could perfectly reproduce every effect. Each gemstone carried its own identity, its own history, its own hidden story. And then came the discovery that amazed even experienced collectors. Some Oregon sunstones displayed a phenomenon so rare that it transformed them into legends among gem enthusiasts. These stones showed both intense color and strong evanescence at the same time. Finding either characteristic was already desirable. Finding both together was exceptionally rare. Such specimens became the crown jewels of Oregon sunstone collecting. People traveled great distances hoping to find one. Miners searched tirelessly. Collectors dreamed of owning them. Most never did, because the supply remained incredibly limited. The truth was that nature had created something far rarer than most people realized. Every extraordinary Oregon sunstone represented a combination of volcanic activity, mineral chemistry, geological timing, and pure chance. Miss any one factor, and the gemstone would never have existed. That realization changed everything. Suddenly, Oregon sunstone was no longer simply another beautiful gem. It became a symbol of geological perfection, a miracle created by Earth itself. And perhaps that is the most fascinating part of this story. For millions of years, these treasures remained hidden beneath ancient lava fields. They waited silently while civilizations rose and fell. They survived ice ages, storms, earthquakes, and the passing of countless generations. Then, one day, someone picked up a sparkling stone from the desert floor and wondered what it might be. That simple moment opened the door to one of America's most remarkable gemstone discoveries. Today, Oregon sunstone continues to captivate collectors, scientists, jewelers, and treasure hunters alike. Its fiery glow still inspires wonder. Its mysteries still attract research. Its beauty still leaves people speechless. And somewhere beneath the deserts of Oregon, more hidden crystals may still be waiting for sunlight, waiting for discovery, waiting for someone to uncover the next extraordinary secret. Because sometimes the greatest treasures are not hidden in ancient tombs or lost pirate ships. Sometimes they lie quietly beneath volcanic earth, carrying the light of a forgotten sun. And that is the timeless mystery of Oregon sunstone. Welcome back. Deep beneath the wide-open skies of Montana lies a gemstone so rare, so unusual, and so mysterious that even many gem collectors have never seen one in person. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary blue sapphire. But hidden within this small stone is a story that stretches across millions of years, a story filled with unexpected discoveries, lost fortunes, geological wonders, and secrets that continue to fascinate experts today. Some believe it is one of the finest sapphires ever found on Earth. Others call it America's greatest hidden gemstone. And few people know that these remarkable gems once traveled from a remote mountain valley in Montana all the way to the jewelry collections of kings, queens, and wealthy elites around the world. But that was only the beginning. Because the deeper you look into the story of a Yogo sapphire, the stranger it becomes. The Yogo sapphire is unlike almost any other sapphire on Earth. Found only in a small area of Montana in the United States, this gemstone has earned a legendary reputation among collectors and gem experts. Unlike many sapphires that require treatment to improve their appearance, Yogo sapphires are famous for their natural beauty. Their deep cornflower blue color appears naturally. No heating, no enhancements. No artificial improvements. What you see is exactly what nature created. This alone makes them extraordinarily rare. But rarity is only one part of the story. What truly makes Yogo sapphires special is how difficult they are to find. The entire known deposit exists in a relatively small geological area. For over a century, miners have searched for these stones, yet the supply has always remained limited. And that's where the mystery deepened. Long before anyone recognized their value, tiny blue crystals occasionally appeared among the rocks of central Montana. Local prospectors often ignored them. Some even threw them away, believing they were worthless. No one could imagine that these small blue stones would eventually become some of the most sought-after sapphires in the world. The official discovery story begins in the late 19th century. At the time, Montana was booming with mining activity. Prospectors were searching for gold, silver, and other valuable minerals. In this rush for wealth, strange blue stones began appearing in mining areas near Yogo Gulch. At first, many people had no idea what they had found. Some reports suggest the stones were mistaken for ordinary pebbles. Others were discarded as useless debris. But eventually, someone realized the truth. These mysterious blue crystals were actually sapphires. News spread quickly. Investors arrived. Mining companies formed. Excitement exploded across the region. Suddenly, a remote Montana valley became the center of international attention. What happened next shocked everyone. As experts examined the stones, they discovered something remarkable. The sapphires displayed a rich blue color that rivaled the finest gems from famous sapphire-producing regions around the world. Even more surprising, the color appeared naturally. This was almost unheard of. The reputation of Yogo sapphires began to grow rapidly. Jewelry makers wanted them. Collectors wanted them. Investors wanted them. And before long, the stones from Montana were being shipped across oceans to customers thousands of miles away. But the story was far from over. As the years passed, Yogo sapphires found their way into prestigious collections and luxury jewelry pieces. Their fame reached Europe. Their reputation crossed continents. Many wealthy individuals became fascinated by the idea that some of the world's finest sapphires were coming from the American West. This challenged long-standing assumptions. For centuries, the greatest sapphires were often associated with distant lands and ancient kingdoms. Now, a rugged mining region in Montana was producing stones that could compete with the best of them. Collectors began seeking them specifically. Some gem experts even argued that Yogo sapphires possessed a color quality that was nearly impossible to duplicate. Museums displayed them, jewelers showcased them, and their legend continued to grow. But that was only the beginning, because wherever valuable gemstones appear, stories and legends soon follow. Over time, countless tales emerged about the Yogo sapphire. Some miners believed the stones brought luck. Others believed they carried hidden power from deep within the earth. Stories circulated about prospectors who discovered fortunes after finding just a handful of crystals. There were rumors of secret caches hidden away and forgotten. Whispers spread of miners who refused to reveal their richest locations. Whether true or not, these stories added to the growing mystique surrounding the gem. And that's where the mystery deepened even further. One of the most intriguing aspects of Yogo sapphire history is how difficult the deposits have been to mine. Unlike some gemstone fields where large discoveries occur regularly, the Yogo region has always presented enormous challenges. Mining operations came and went. Companies invested heavily. Some succeeded. Others failed. Ownership changed hands many times. Yet despite decades of effort, production remained surprisingly limited. The earth seemed unwilling to surrender its treasures easily. This scarcity only increased the gemstone's appeal. After all, rarity often creates desire, and few gemstones are as limited in supply as the Yogo sapphire. But the scientific story behind these gems may be even more fascinating. To understand what makes them special, we must travel back millions of years. Far beneath the Earth's surface, intense heat and pressure shaped the minerals that would eventually become Yogo sapphires. Over vast stretches of time, geological forces pushed these crystals upward. Volcanic activity played a crucial role in transporting them closer to the surface. Eventually, erosion exposed the deposits that miners would later discover. The journey took millions of years, yet the result was extraordinary. Yogo sapphires possess a vivid blue color often described as cornflower blue. This shade is highly prized because it appears balanced, rich, and remarkably consistent. Many sapphires from other locations vary significantly in color. Some are too dark, some are too pale. Others require treatment to improve their appearance. Yogo sapphires are different. Their natural beauty often requires no enhancement at all. Few people know that this characteristic makes them exceptionally important in the gem world. Natural, untreated sapphires of high quality are becoming increasingly difficult to find. As a result, Yogo sapphires occupy a unique position among collectors. But the biggest secret was still hidden. Today, demand for rare gemstones continues to rise. Collectors search globally for stones with unusual histories and limited supplies. Investors increasingly view rare gems as alternative stores of value. Museums seek specimens that tell extraordinary stories, and Yogo sapphires satisfy all three categories. They are beautiful, they are historic, and they are rare. High-quality examples can command impressive prices, especially when accompanied by documentation proving their Montana origin. Yet despite growing demand, the supply remains extremely limited. Unlike mass-produced luxury items, no factory can create more Yogo sapphires. Nature produced a finite amount. Once those deposits are exhausted, there will be no replacements. That reality makes every stone increasingly significant. And now we arrive at the most surprising fact of all. For decades, many experts have quietly believed that Yogo sapphires represent one of the greatest gemstone bargains in the world. While other famous gemstones attract global headlines and enormous publicity, Yogo sapphires often remain overlooked by the general public. Their rarity is extraordinary. Their quality is world-class. Their history is remarkable. Yet many people have never heard their name. Think about that for a moment. Some of the finest naturally colored sapphires on Earth come from a small area in Montana. Their supply is limited. Their reputation among experts is exceptional. And still, they remain hidden from mainstream attention. The truth was even more surprising than most people expected. The greatest treasure was not simply the gemstones themselves. It was the fact that such an extraordinary discovery could remain relatively unknown for so long. In a world where information spreads instantly, the Yogo sapphire continues to feel like a secret shared only among collectors, historians, miners, and gem enthusiasts. Perhaps that hidden quality is part of its appeal. Not every treasure needs to dominate headlines. Some treasures become more powerful precisely because they remain mysterious. And that's what makes the Yogo sapphire so unforgettable. It is more than a gemstone. It is a story written by ancient geological forces, shaped by human ambition, protected by rarity, and preserved by time. From a remote Montana valley to the collections of the world's most passionate gem lovers, its journey continues. Every crystal carries a history millions of years in the making. Every sapphire represents a connection between the deep earth and human curiosity. And every stone reminds us that even today, hidden treasures still exist, waiting, silent beneath the surface, ready to reveal their secrets to those willing to look a little deeper. Because sometimes the rarest treasures are not the ones everyone knows about. Sometimes they are the ones hidden in plain sight. And the Yogo sapphire may be one of the greatest examples of all. Welcome back. Imagine holding a stone that looks ordinary from the outside. A rough piece of rock. Nothing special, nothing rare, nothing valuable. But then sunlight touches its surface. Suddenly, waves of fiery red, glowing gold, flashing green, and burning orange explode from within. It looks less like a gemstone and more like a living flame trapped inside stone. For centuries, people have searched deserts, mountains, and hidden canyons hoping to find this incredible treasure. Some called it nature's fire. Others believed it carried the spirit of the earth itself. Today, fire agate remains one of the most mysterious gemstones ever discovered. And its biggest secret may be even more astonishing than its beauty. This is the story of fire agate. At first glance, fire agate does not look like a gem that should exist. Most gemstones sparkle because of the way they are cut. Diamonds shine because they reflect light. Rubies glow because of their color. Opals display flashes of color because of their internal structure. Fire agate is different. Its fiery appearance seems almost impossible. Deep inside the stone are layers that create flashes of light, resembling real flames moving beneath the surface. No two pieces are ever the same. Every fire agate is unique. Every pattern tells a different story. Every color dances differently when viewed from another angle. This strange beauty has fascinated collectors, jewelers, and treasure hunters for generations. But that was only the beginning. The story of fire agate starts millions of years ago during a violent chapter in Earth's history. Long before humans walked the planet, volcanic activity shaped vast regions of what would later become parts of the American Southwest and northern Mexico. Hot water rich with minerals flowed through cracks and cavities in ancient rocks. As time passed, layers of silica slowly formed inside these spaces. Tiny amounts of iron became trapped between the layers. Over countless ages, pressure, heat, and chemical changes transformed these deposits into something extraordinary. The result was fire agate, a gemstone unlike anything else on Earth. Most fire agate deposits are found in places where deserts meet mountains. Regions of Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and northern Mexico became home to some of the world's most famous sources. The landscapes where fire agate forms are harsh and unforgiving. Scorching temperatures, rocky terrain, remote canyons. Yet hidden beneath this rugged land lay one of nature's most beautiful secrets. When early prospectors and miners encountered fire agate, many did not immediately recognize its value. Unlike diamonds or emeralds, it did not appear spectacular when first removed from the ground. Its true beauty remained concealed beneath rough layers of stone. Only skilled cutters could reveal the flames hidden inside. What happened next shocked everyone. As more specimens were polished and displayed, collectors began realizing they were looking at something truly rare. Word spread. Gem enthusiasts traveled long distances searching for new deposits. Small discoveries quickly attracted attention, and that's where the mystery deepened. Unlike many gemstones found around the world, fire agate exists in only a handful of locations. Its rarity made it increasingly desirable. But perhaps even more important was its appearance. Many people who saw fire agate for the first time believed the colors were artificial. They looked too bright, too vivid, too alive. Yet every flash was completely natural. Nature itself had created the illusion of moving fire. Few people know that fire agate became especially popular among collectors during the 20th century. As interest in unusual gemstones grew, fire agate developed a reputation as one of the most unique gems available. Jewelry designers loved it because no two stones looked alike. Collectors loved it because supplies were limited, and museums appreciated it because it demonstrated one of the most fascinating optical effects found in nature. Over time, exceptional specimens became highly prized. Particularly rare stones displaying strong red, gold, and green flashes attracted significant attention. The finest examples often seemed almost magical. And whenever a remarkable specimen appeared, competition among collectors could become intense. But the stone's growing fame also gave rise to legends. Throughout history, people have attached stories and beliefs to unusual gemstones. Fire agate was no exception. Many indigenous traditions associated fiery stones with strength, protection, and spiritual energy. Because fire agate appeared to contain living flames, some believed it carried the power of fire itself. Others viewed it as a protective stone capable of shielding its owner from danger. Stories emerged of travelers carrying fire agate as a symbol of courage. Some believed it increased confidence. Others thought it attracted success. Whether these legends were true or not, they added another layer of mystery to an already fascinating gemstone. And that's where the mystery deepened even further. Unlike gemstones whose beauty remains constant, fire agate seems to change before your eyes. Turn it slightly. The colors shift. Move it under different lighting. The flames appear to dance. View it from another angle. New patterns suddenly emerge. This effect has amazed people for generations. Many first-time observers cannot believe what they are seeing. The truth was even more surprising. Scientists eventually discovered that fire agate's incredible appearance comes from microscopic layers formed during its creation. These layers interact with light in a complex way. Instead of simply reflecting color, they create interference effects that generate the stone's fiery flashes. The result is known as iridescence. But fire agate displays this effect differently than many other gemstones. Its colors often appear deeper, richer, and more dramatic. Some stones seem to contain miniature volcanoes frozen in time. Others resemble glowing embers hidden beneath ash. And a few exceptional specimens look almost supernatural. Scientists continue studying these structures because they represent a remarkable example of natural engineering. Every layer tells a story that began millions of years ago. Every flash of color is the result of geological events that occurred long before humanity existed. That alone makes fire agate extraordinary. Its modern importance continues to grow. Today, fire agate occupies a unique position in the gemstone world. It may not command the same headlines as diamonds or sapphires, but among knowledgeable collectors, it enjoys enormous respect. High-quality specimens can be surprisingly valuable. Particularly rare stones displaying strong color across large surfaces often attract serious interest. Expert cutters play a critical role in determining value. Cut too deeply, and the fire can disappear. Cut too shallowly, and the stone may not reveal its full potential. Finding the perfect balance requires patience, skill, and experience. Because of this, beautifully finished fire agates are often considered works of art as much as gemstones. Collectors appreciate not only the stone itself, but also the craftsmanship involved in revealing its hidden flames. Museums and gem exhibitions frequently showcase exceptional examples. Visitors often stop in disbelief when they see the color for the first time. Many assume they are looking at something man-made. Then they learn it was created entirely by nature. And that realization leaves a lasting impression. But the biggest secret was still hidden. For years, scientists and gem experts wondered why fire agate remained so uncommon despite the vast geological processes that created it. After all, volcanic activity has occurred throughout Earth's history. Silica deposits exist around the world. So why is fire agate so rare? The answer reveals just how extraordinary this gemstone truly is. The conditions required to create fire agate are incredibly specific. Not only must the right minerals be present, but they must also form in the correct sequence under the right temperatures and chemical environments. Even a small change can prevent the fiery layers from developing. In other words, fire agate is the result of an astonishing geological coincidence. Millions of years, perfect conditions, countless natural processes working together. And only then can a stone capable of holding living fire emerge. That means every genuine fire agate represents a geological miracle. A chain of events so unlikely that it may never happen exactly the same way twice. When collectors learn this fact, many see the stone differently. It is no longer just beautiful. It becomes a survivor, a rare witness to Earth's ancient past, a masterpiece shaped by time itself. And perhaps that is why fire agate continues to captivate people around the world. Not because it is the most expensive gemstone, not because it is the most famous, but because it feels alive. There is something deeply mesmerizing about seeing flames trapped inside stone, something that sparks curiosity, something that reminds us how extraordinary nature can be. In a world filled with treasures, fire agates stand apart. Hidden for millions of years beneath deserts and mountains, forged by volcanoes, shaped by time, protected by chance, and revealed only to those willing to look beyond the surface. The next time you see a piece of fire agate, remember what lies inside. Not just color, not just light, but a story that began millions of years ago. A story written by fire, stone, and time. And even today, that ancient fire still burns.